Margie had been teaching third grade for 14 years at a school with peeling paint and a copier that jammed more than it worked. She was 36, never married, no kids of her own, a joke the other teachers made sometimes, not unkindly. Margie's got 30 of them every year instead. She used to write real notes in the margins of every essay. Lately, she stamped a smiley face and moved on. Not because she'd stopped caring, because caring that hard for 14 years, with budget cuts eating her classroom aide and her supply budget and almost her own job this year, will hollow a person out if nothing ever seems to change. She stayed anyway, told herself it was for the kids. Some nights she wondered if it was just because she didn't know how to be anything else. If a story like this is speaking to something in you, hit subscribe right now. Every week, we bring you stories about ordinary people who found their reason again, and the moment that changed everything. One Friday in March, a letter showed up in her school mailbox. No return address, just her name, misspelled the way a 9-year-old might spell it. Inside was a single page, handwriting grown up but still recognizably careful in the way kids are taught to be careful. You probably don't remember me. I was the kid who cried on the first day of third grade because my dad had just left, and I thought it was my fault somehow. You kept me in at recess, not as punishment, just to talk. You told me it wasn't my fault. I don't think anyone had said that to me before. I'm graduating from nursing school this spring. I still have the sticker chart you gave me. I know it's been almost 20 years. I just wanted you to know it mattered.
It was signed with a name Margie hadn't thought about in nearly 2 decades. She had to sit down at her desk for a long moment before she could stand back up. She almost put the letter in her bag and forgot about it, the way tired people do with things that move them. But something about the timing stopped her. This had come the same week the district finalized this year's cuts. The same week she'd caught herself grading papers without reading a single word. She read it again that night. Then she went looking for the box of teaching materials she'd made her first year. Lesson plans she'd written with actual joy, before joy became a luxury she couldn't budget for. She found a note to herself, tucked inside an old folder, written the summer before her first classroom. It asked one plain question. What kind of teacher do you want to have been when this is over? She hadn't answered that question honestly in years. The next morning, she rewrote her lesson plans from scratch. Not because anyone asked her to, but because she remembered. Suddenly and completely. Why she used to. She started staying late again. Not out of guilt. Out of something closer to the reason she'd walked in the first place. 2 years later, a parent nominated Margie for a district teaching award. She didn't win. She didn't need to. A boy in her class that year told her she was the only grown-up who actually listens, and she decided that was the only award that ever mattered. She keeps the letter in her top desk drawer now, under a stack of grading. On the hardest days, she reads it again.
She tells new teachers something now, usually during their first hard week. You won't always know if it landed. Most of the time, you won't. But every so often, it comes back to you. Years later, misspelled and everything. And it's enough to carry you through the years you don't hear anything at all. Here's what Margie proved. You don't lose your purpose in one dramatic moment. You misplace it quietly, one tired afternoon at a time, until a letter you weren't expecting finds you exactly when you needed it. So here's your challenge. Think about someone you might have helped without ever knowing it. Ask yourself, have you told them it mattered?
And is there someone who needs to hear that from you today? Sit with that question for 3 days. Don't rush the answer. It already knows where you are. If Margie's story reached you, subscribe. This is the channel for you. And if this reminded you of a teacher who changed your path without ever knowing it, send it to them today. Like this video. If that former student's words found the right person at the right time, they usually do.